Alright. Hey, we're back for the final episode. Actually, no, we're going to do 2 episodes. This will be the first part of Chapter 9. We're going to break Chapter 9 into 2 episodes because it's going to be very long. So this is Chapter 9. We make our revisit to Sea Island. And we're going to replay the dungeon from the very first Startropics and the very first level in that game. There's very important things that I need to point out right away. So, excuse me. So you walk to Coca-Cola. We'll find that all the villagers except one have been turned into wild boars. For reasons that I will explain in the second episode of this journey, you need to make sure that you do talk to this villager this way, not this way. And unfortunately, because I didn't do it fast enough, it's actually messed up. So I need to do it quickly. You talk to him from the left, not from any other direction. That's important to do a setup for a skip that we're going to do at the end. If you remember the out of bounds skip that I demonstrated in Chapter 3, we're going to do another one of those that actually gets us out of the game that's guaranteed setup. So, but it will take some time to work it out. So let's go ahead and do the execution. What will happen is it sets a value that we need set, but if a villager moves in between when we do that talk with this villager and before we go in the stairs, then it messes the whole thing up. So you see everybody just moved, so you'll be able to make it into the stairs before someone else moves again. That's the key to being successful here. So alright, so you're going to switch right to the ultra right off the bat. You walk 1 tile to the right, 1, 2, up here, 1, 2, 1, 2. You can do that every time. The only trick is that third one might go down and you'll have to walk down a little bit. So, I didn't save state, so I'm not going to be able to show that again. But you're going to, when you come in the room, you'll walk here, 1, 2, up here, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Just like that every time should work for you. Occasionally it won't. Now the next room's a little trickier. So, you're actually going to jump and 1, 2. And see, I didn't even get it. You're gonna walk forward a little bit, and then that's what you have to do. Walk forward just a hair, 1, 2, and I messed it up because I didn't jump. That first slime is the only one you need to kill to open the door, but the 2 slimes always get overlapped on the same tile, so it can be hard to kill the right one. Most of the time, you'll kill the wrong one. So if you want to do it a little bit more easily, you can just walk here and 1, 2, 3, 4, and work your way through. So if you want to do it a little bit more simply, you can go that route. But this is the fastest way, and I killed the wrong slime. And then you're gonna go through here. So here you're just gonna walk up to the right, 1, 2. Now for these rats, you can take some damage. It's okay if you do. You just want to try and get around them. Don't forget the short hop here. So like, here's a full hop, and there's a short hop. So you can short hop, but you do have to walk. If you just short hop repeatedly, eventually that'll happen. So you have to walk a little bit and then short hop. You can't just keep buffering your short hops. You have to walk a little bit. But that's how you want to cross this, is by doing your short hops. If you're nervous, just do long jumps. You can buffer long jumps all the way across. You'll never fall in the water that way. So you can just do this and buffer and just jump, and you'll never have a problem. So, alright, let's go to the next one. The next room, you're going to walk up diagonal up left 1 tile, and you'll kill these first 2 mice exactly like this each time. And then the third mouse you'll have to react to. The bats you do not need to knock out, obviously. But they might get in your way. So just have to react to them. They're a little bit difficult to deal with, but not too bad. Here, alright, so if you've played the first Startropics, you know that the switches are always here. But in Startropics 2, they're on the left. So you have to press the left side. If you're really low on hearts, you can pick up some hearts here as well. You don't necessarily need them. You can take up to, let's see, you can have 12.5 hearts. If you have 12.5 hearts, then you're fine. If you have less than that, pick up these 4. That would be my rule of thumb here. because you need to do a damage boost that's very critical, just that we're gonna learn. So make sure you have enough health for that. There, one more time. Oops, see, I was playing Startropics 1 earlier today, so there you go. Now, here, okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk through this room as best you can, and if you're safe on health, you can just damage through this snake or walk around him. Shouldn't cause you too much fuss, and then we'll try to kill these slimes while we jump. So let's try it. I'll stay on the wall here. See, the snake didn't even bother me. And then I was able to jump and kill a blob without any trouble there. So it didn't cost me any time to jump shoot that blob. No big deal. Sometimes that snake will walk over here and walk into you, and it's not a big deal. But you can usually get both slimes knocked out pretty easily using your 3-way shot, which you had to pick up, so you always have it. You're going to use the 3-way shot going in the next room. You have to just kill the bats here, so they go all over the place. There's no guaranteed setup here. You just have to react to them. These snakes do charge you when they see you, so just as an FYI, that's how they operate. Alright, so the first area, you know what? We might be able to get this done in one episode. We'll try it. The first boss of this level is the c-serpent skeleton, which is coming up here. And we're going to skip this boss using a void walk skip. And I do recommend that even beginners learn the skip, and I'm going to teach you a really surefire way to make sure you get this skip every time. So let's go ahead and enter the room, and it does not matter what you have. You're going to buffer 2 jumps, 2 full jumps, walk to the corner, and you'll make it up there, no problem. Now, what just happened? I'm going to try and break it down slow-mo. So I do 2 buffered jumps, okay? Without moving anywhere else, because what tends to happen if I try to walk, I do that. And I don't like that. So I just buffer 2 jumps from the start, walk to the corner. Now, once you're at the corner spot, right here, you need to be exactly at the top right corner of this square. You're going to get hit. And you can't do a pause in this one, but it is very lenient. So I'm all the way upright. As soon as you take damage, you're gonna hold jump upright, and you'll see me do that. So let's and I died. Okay, so let's try it again without having that pause in the middle. So what you do first is you're gonna hold that jump upright after you take damage. When Mike stops flashing red, you're going to switch it to holding right instead of upright. So let's demonstrate. So buffer jump, hold upright, damage. Well, I can't be holding upright when that happens. I need to sit still. Okay, so like that. So buffer jump, walk there, sit still, boom. It's very lenient. So you can, as long as you hit the fire, you're going to be in good shape. If you're facing upright, it doesn't work. You have to be facing up. So you're going to wait for Mike to stop flashing. Jump, face up, flashing, hold right. I'll walk you through this a couple more times. I wish I could put this in slow-mo. Actually, you know what? You know what would be a good thing to do? Is put YouTube in slow-mo for this section. That way you can see my controller inputs as I do them. I'll try to get it up close. Buffer jump. Oh, he's not in the right spot because I moved. Buffer jump. Hit. Like that. And he's dead. You win. Okay? One more time. Jump. Walk to the corner. Face up. Just like that. You get to skip the boss for free. Jump. Walk to the corner, face up. As soon as he stops flashing. And by the way, he doesn't have a hitbox, so you can kind of laugh at him. But yeah, that's this boss. There's nothing much more to it than that. And actually, you guys can see more on the top screen than I can. So they actually didn't even animate him all the way up to the top. So you guys can see how that part of the screen where there's green above the serpent, that's not on my TV. So that's actually kind of funny that they have that like that. So one more time. Jump. Boom. It's fairly lenient. You have about 30 frames to get hit in that spot. Because of the angle that comes in, you're almost always going to land on a spot where that fire hits you on the right frame. So you should be good. It's not terribly difficult to learn, but something worth noting. So, all right. So now we're through that portion of the dungeon. Now, this next section is very important. I mentioned that if you wanted to have 12.5 hearts, that damage boost to skip the boss costs 4.5 hearts, which would put you at 8. You're going to get 12 hearts for free on this conveyor belt. Additionally, for beginners, I do recommend picking up the medicine, which is right here. Okay? That medicine is a very good safety net. If you get into trouble, you can just use it. No big deal. Additionally, if you die, this is your checkpoint from here on out. So you may want to have the 3-way shot on deck, which is, where is it? Don't get it all that often. Here it is. There you get a 3-way shot. You're going to use this on one of the bosses, so just keep that in mind. So the fastest way through these conveyors is through the top, which is right here. So you'll want to walk upright, and then you'll switch it to down and then back up again. Walk up here. If you feel like you're struggling in this section, you don't have to take the fast route just to keep going down and then go to the boss. But you can just jump and get this medicine if you want it. It's safety. But you cannot jump back to another room like this. There's no action you can do except go get warped. And you can't re-pick up the weapons either, and the medicines either. So your best bet is just to get thrown in this hole. Eventually you'll get led to this hole regardless of which path you take, but that's the fastest route. So I lied at the beginning of the episode. Said we were going to do 2 episodes, but this ended up being not that long. We're going to cover the next section here. Okay? So this is a boss rush. So everything turned gray, and we're going to fight most of the bosses that we already fought in the game. So most of them you'll be familiar with. There's a couple strategies that are going to be a little bit different, but I'll walk you through each one as we go through it. But I'm not going to do it somewhat quickly until we get to the one boss that's majorly different. So you're going to wait for Zoda to laugh here. Kind of stand as high on this spot as you can. Boom. Door open, and we're going to go to our first boss, which is Yum Yum. So let's make sure your Ultra Psychic Shockwave is equipped. Make sure you have plenty of medicines. Make sure you have full health. You need the Ultra Psychic Shockwave for this to go well. If you don't have it, you're going to be in bad shape. So just go get medicines on the conveyor belt, or do whatever you have to do to fill up your health here. It's very important that you have high health. All right, so let's proceed. All right, so for this boss, you're going to stand in place. Shoot him as many times as you can before jumping up right out of it. And then you're going to land. Jump, and then jump his shots like this. And then fire at him diagonally until he croaks. Like that. So I'll do it one more time. Oh, I got hit. That's not what I wanted to demonstrate. And stay straight on until you could dump that top left. Or sorry, top right, and then you're going to knock him out, go to the door, and just go ahead and stand by. The next boss is the Scorpion. So this boss is actually really easy. You're going to buffer shot like that, a buffer another diagonal shot, and you're just going to wail on the Scorpion because it will remember that you killed 2 of its little ones, and then he's just going to die. Just like that. Do it one more time. Just make sure you kill the Scorpions quickly before they get out of your diagonal range so you don't have to move. And sometimes he does get away from you like that. Just walk down and get him that way. Next boss is Monster Mask. Monster Mask has a lot more health than its original version this time. So you're going to have to... it is the same style of pattern where it can, you could get a really good pattern, just stand still and blow it away, or it could run all over the place. So I'll try a couple different versions of the fight to try and show all the patterns. So you're just going to wait and start shooting. If you stand there, now hopefully they stand... Sometimes you can just stand in place, but never be in center. Always be one tile to the left or right. If you get lucky, all you have to do is stand here and just keep shooting it. But if you are standing one tile to the left or right of it, you won't get hit by its basic beams. The spread shot it does. There you go. Now, when this boss dies, you're going to want to get to a specific tile and equip the three-way shot. So I'll do it in motion. I can't pause. This is the pattern you want. This is perfect pattern. And then you just sit there and wail on them. You're going to switch to the three-way spot and stand on this tile. Okay? You're going to stand on this tile. Oopsies. Alright, I'm going to save state here. It's because I'm going to instantly sync. So this will... I'll show you why. So this is Zoda X. You remember that he still can spawn one of two spots. Oh, that was too close. Okay. Oh, you know what I need to do? I probably need to be a little bit over one, but that's okay. Alright, he's not going to spawn there, so he'll be over here. So you have... At the time your three-way shots there, you get 2 hits of the three three-way shots hit in. And then you can kill him that way. But we don't want that. We want to get... I'm still too close. I need to jump a little bit later. Hold on. I'm going to try and get the pattern for when he's... So that's how easy that boss turns if you get that optimal pattern. Because the three-way shot hits the wall, you can fire it super, super, super fast. But you have to kind of get right there, right on the tile between, start jumping, so that you can jump in place and just wail on him. If he doesn't spawn by the time you've done your second jump, then you're going to go down here because this is where he's going to be. And then you have to do these delayed three-way shots like this. So it's a different rhythm. You can't just mash the B button. But there is a timing to it. So, let's go through it one more time. Right when you get to the corner of those 4 tiles, and he just gets obliterated. It's not even fair, honestly. So, wait for it to spin 1 loop around. Right there, corner, 1. Easy. Doesn't matter what pattern you get. Doesn't matter anything. If he spawns right there, it's instant kill. If he doesn't spawn right there, you go over here. You can still one cycle him pretty easily by doing this. Okay. Next boss is Monster Miner. So I'll show you how I handle it. It's very much like the original fight. You're gonna start shooting him. We'll try to jump this. You probably will not get it. And then your job is to shoot him around the rocks. Remember that he always jumps in an acute or an obtuse angle. So he'll jump straight one way and then a diagonal another way. He never jumps straight twice or angled twice. And I was able to get through him with some damage. It is pretty normal to take some damage in this fight. A lot of times you can get this far in the boss rush without taking damage because the strats are pretty easy to execute on. But again, you're going to have to react to what the rocks do. It's not always consistent. And occasionally you can jump this, but and sometimes you can't get him before he does another hammer. That's okay. Sometimes the rocks aren't generous. And then you just go through here. Alright, this last part is very important. So, this is actually going to be the last boss we fight in the boss rush because we're going to do a skip. So, pay very close attention to what we do here. We have several important things we have to do. So, we're going to try and 2-cycle Zoda. Okay, that's step 1. This is Zoda Y. Remember we fought Zoda Y in chapter 7. And I'll go through and I'll save state it. Alright, so you're gonna look for him. Remember, he will spawn in either the middle first or the edges first, and then once he spawns in one of those, he'll spawn in the other. So left or right, I can't predict, but I know that whatever he spawns first, he won't spawn on the edge or the middle again. He'll flip flop between those two things. So this time he gave me the edge. Gave me 2 bats. I'm gonna kill the bats. Now this second part is very, very important. You almost don't want to try and 1-cycle him. There is a way to do it, and you could set it up if you got it, but you want to kind of have a really good shot on this, because what you're going to do is we have to do a setup as soon as we kill the boss for phase 1 to do a void walk to get onto the other side. And you'll see why we're going to do that in a minute, but for now, just follow along as best you can here. So we're going to wait for them to spawn up. It does not matter if you're straight on this time. You can actually, because there probably aren't enough hits. So what you're going to do, as soon as he dies, I can still pause, but in a second I won't be able to. You're going to walk all the way to the top, straight up. Okay? When you walk to the top of the platform, and it won't push you any further, you're going to walk straight down to the spikes, and then you're going to buffer 2 jumps up from that spot. If you accidentally move left or right while you're moving up, that's fine, as long as you move up fully on 2 full hops. 2 fully buffered hops upwards. That is going to put you on the right pixel to void walk on Zoda. And that's what we want to do. But we also need to do a pause setup. Once the boss starts dying, we won't be able to pause anymore. So what we'll have to do is we will get in the right position to jump up towards the boss, and we will hold the start button. We need to hold the start button so we buffer a pause on the first actionable frame. I'm taking a long time to explain this, but I'm going to do it step by step as best as I can. Once you get the pause, you're going to buffer an unpause, and then you're going to buffer a jump up pause. And then you need to buffer that unpause again, and then continue to hold up. And you'll land on the boss, and you should void walk over to that side of the area. So once we get there, I'll go to the next step. But let's try this. Oh, I didn't include that. I'll have to come back. Like that. Okay? That's what we want to do. We need to get on this side of the map. There was something I left out that I need to explain. You also need to be facing left or right when you do that jump upwards. So let's go ahead and go through the whole sequence here. I'll go ahead and fight the boss, just like normal. Get my diagonal shots on the first phase here. That was really good. This one does, as long as I got enough hits in the first one, it doesn't much matter. I'm just going to wail on him a couple times. Walk up, jump, jump, shoot something to the left, and then hold start. I've got start held. I messed up. It's because I was trying to explain it. I ended up pressing other buttons, which messed up my timing. So it wasn't a buffered unpause at that point. Alright, he does not always spawn in this spot. It's probably just because of the RNG of the room, the way I entered it. And it'll be in one of the 2 middle spots now. Walk all the way up. Damage, jump, jump, shoot to the left or right. Hold start. You need to buffer that. All of that needs to be perfectly buffered. If you don't perfectly buffer it, it won't work. So what we're doing is the boss, when it dies, it can't. You can't pause the game. When enemies are taking damage, technically you can't pause the game at any time. That's how we do the setup in Chapter 5 on the boss skip. But even if you are a beginner, I do recommend learning this skip because it is guaranteed. It's not too terribly hard to learn. I know it took me a long time to explain it, but it's pretty consistent to do. In fact, I'm going to do phase 1, and then I'll that way. Alright, so I'm saved here. Up, damage, jump, jump, shoot left or right, hold start, jump, just like that. Okay, so why are we doing this? Why do we want to get on this side? So the game doesn't know you're supposed to be over here. It expects you to be in that bottom area. And the way the next boss works is you're going to fall into the dragon's lair, the dragon we just beat in Chapter 8. But because you're not where you're supposed to be, you've become out of bounds, and the game is going to do all kinds of crazy things with the tiles. So first thing we need to do is we need to kill this boss as normal. This is why I told you need to get your medicines, because if you get medicines and you do get low on health here, you can just restore your Ultra Psychic Shockwave and be fine. You can kill this boss still pretty safely with Super Psychic Shockwave as well, or you could use 3-way shots, but the trick is going to be managing this boss so that you don't get cornered by bats. The bats do a lot of damage. Touching the boss does not. Touching the boss only does 1 heart of health. So if you do have to take damage, I recommend walking through the boss rather than getting shot or touching a bat. So you're just going to kind of take this boss on as best as you can. If you do get in a corner like this, the boss cannot hit you. If he does the feather attack 1 tile off of you, he can't touch you. So this is really great. You can just wail on him. I like to kill the bats though, so the bats don't get me stuck in the corner. Alright, and now I can't pause. What you need to do is walk all the way over to the left, just like this, okay? And keep holding left. And what's going to happen is, by your input of holding left, you've helped set these out of bounds tiles. So you can see Mike is all out of bounds. Everything's out of whack right now. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep holding left, and you're going to walk left to this tile right here, the second tile and then you're going to hold down left. And it warps you out of the dungeon. What's happening is the out of bound tiles are set guaranteed each time in a certain way so that you can do the same inputs every time. That also is why we had to talk to the villager from the left. When we talk to the villager from the left, what happens is that tile that we just touched gets set to C5, I believe. It gets a hex value of C5, which is C5 is a correct exit of a dungeon. So it takes us to the end of the dungeon, no problem. So I'm going to demo that one more time because I know that was a lot. So what you're going to do when you kill the boss, walk all the way up here, damage, jump, use the fire to turn left or right, that way you don't accidentally turn a direction. And I'm going to try and get that better. And if you can't go to this side, since you're already where you need to be. And then if he does that, great. You just sit here and wail on him until he dies. Easy. Now, I'm going to hold left. Just left, no other inputs. I think down left works too, but just hold left. Left. That tile, boom. You're out. If for some reason that tile does not work. So let's do it one more time. You see this time he spawned over here. All the way up to the top. Damage, jump, buffer jump. Hold pause, jump. Oh, might still work. Yeah, I'm going. Okay. So you can see I jumped to the left, but as long as you continue to hold up the whole time, it does not matter. And see, now he's over there. So I'll kill him before he gets to me, probably. You can actually jump shoot so that when he jumps, he doesn't jump over your shots there. But you want to hold left when you get sucked into this room. If for some reason you go down here, like I just did, and it does not warp you out, do not jump. You will crash the game. Don't do that. There is another way out. If for some reason that this path doesn't work for you, and you're like, why is the game not warping me out? You can go left a little bit further, and then walk like this, and you'll get out. That tile is not dependent on talking to the villager from the left. So if you did forget to talk to the villager on the left side, you can always do that version of the tile exit, but it is a little bit slower and harder to remember because you have to walk a certain way. 1, 2, 3. And if you aren't right in front of him here, as long as you're you can move left or right as long as you don't move up or down any tiles. As you can see, I haven't messed this up. Unlike the other skips in the game that have been inconsistent or harder to do, this is fairly consistent. You can do it every time. Alright, and sometimes he does shoot you like this, and then you're going to do this. So if you walk to that side, you can hit him at that range fairly safely without having to worry about the feathers hitting you. So yeah, if you want to take the long exit, you got to walk here, diagonal down one, and then diagonal down like this, and that will take you out. So that's guaranteed if you forget to talk to the villager. But if you do talk to the villager from the left, you can take that easier route that I demonstrated earlier. So, jump, fire. I can fire to the right if I want. Jump up, and then take the damage. And again, touching the boss only does 1 heart of damage. So, this is a glitch ending, sort of. So, you don't have to fight the final boss doing the method this way. I'm not going to provide a guide on that because this is guaranteed. This works every time. If you want to fight the final boss, you can. go for it. That's not the optimal speed route, obviously. Before we end, there is one more thing that you have to do. If you don't do anything when you walked up one tile right here, Micah will talk to you. And if you don't do anything, it'll trigger a cutscene. You do not want that to happen. So you just hold left, and you won't trigger the cutscene. And if you're feeling swag, you can come back like that and just take them with you. So that's just a glitch. I actually want to see what happens when you do a silly mash here. Does not work. I can't get it to work. Yeah, it glitches out anyway. And if you stay there, it'll still trigger. Actually, I think if you talk to her, yeah. And then they come along with you. You can they didn't quite finish that part of the game yet. So yeah, if you just do it normally, you just hold left, walk out of the village. When you walk to this spot, the game warps you back to Sea Island. And then you're just going to walk straight to the chief's hut. You don't need to talk to anyone. And as soon as you talk to the chief. So right there is time on the clock. So I hope that all made sense, worked itself out. The void walk is consistent. It does require a little bit of practice to get down. So do recommend Fulco. I will link to Fulco's video on how to do it as well. Because he's the one who came up with that strat to do it. But it is consistent. It works every time. It saves about 2 minutes because the final boss is tremendously RNG dependent. So you have to do a lot of work there to have success on that fight. And you have to fight the dragon again. So it skips your dragon fight. It skips the little Zoda lull that he does, and your health refill, and then the final boss with just 3 phases. So it skips all of that for you. And it's really simple. So that's it. That's our Startropics 2 speedrun guide. If you follow all those steps and you work out, the kinks on some of them harder things like the night boss, the ball setup in the basement, and the things like the gold night rooms, you get more consistent with those and how to deal with those enemies, and then you learn the skips. You're looking at something definitely sub 105, probably sub 104 or 103 at that point. So, which would be considered an excellent time at that point. So, really cool stuff. This is a really fun game to speedrun, and as always, you can reach out if you have questions. We have a Discord. It's probably pretty easy to find. You can always reach out to me, TheTantalus, on Twitter, on Discord, on speedrun.com even. Pretty receptive. I'll help you out as best I can. So hopefully you learned a little bit about speedrunning Startropics 2. I'm not gonna play the credits for you. There's a lot of flashing in them anyway. So yeah, if you liked the video and you like the series, give me a like below. Not expecting a whole lot of activity on these videos, but any little bit of positive reaction helps me. Makes it worth the time we took to put it together. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on a stream sometime. Our stream is www.twitch.tv/TantNJess. There's the two of us there, our caricatures up there. So enjoy yourself and take care, and hopefully we'll see you sometime.